Hello, you guys. So, I'm gonna talk about fasting today because as believers, we are supposed to fast. And in the Bible, it says when we fast, not if we fast. And I'm not gonna say I'm an expert because there are people who have done more severe fast than me. I have done from the time I wake up to 12 o'clock, from the time I wake up to 3:33. I fasted for the entire day with no food, just water. I've done the Esther fast twice. And I want to say that fasting takes discipline. And you have to be called by God to do a fast, because I remember one time I thought that God was telling me to do a fast, and he told me, no, don't do something that I didn't call for you to do. Because when God is leading you to do something, you need his strength for it. So I remember last year, God told me to do an Esther fast, and I was like, what? No, what? And how you know you're supposed to do a fast is when you don't want to do it. Because we do fast sometimes that isn't our will and it seems easy. But when God wants us to do a fast, it will be a fast that's so complicated, and to us it seems so hard. So we tend to fight God against it, like, are you sure? So that's how I felt towards the Esther fast last year. And I was like, God, you need to speak clearly to me, like, if you want me to do this. And it was a video, and he was talking about, in order for you to receive breakthrough, you need to fast. And I was like, all right, God, you made it very clear to me. I'm gonna fast because you told me to. That was severe for me. No food, no water for 3 days. The second day of that fast, I was hallucinating. I remember I saw myself, and I had so many different fast food laid out in front of me, and I was drinking some McDonald's soda, and I was eating food, and then I started crying, and I was like, oh my God, like I broke my fast, da, da, da. And then I woke up. It felt so real. I was dealing with hallucinations. The devil was trying to tempt me on my social media. I had Instagram at the time, and all I saw on the ad section were food, different advertisements for food. I was like, oh, the devil want to play. So it's temptation, and then there's hallucination, and then I live in Miami, and it's so hot in Miami. And I went out, I think, the second and third day, and because you can't drink water on an Esther fast, like, you're dehydrated, okay, because you're hot. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I need something to drink, and then you can't drink. And when I was doing the Esther fast, you guys, my breath was so stinky. Like, I brushed my teeth so many times during the fast. It was so stinky. At the end of the fast, I had to throw away my toothbrush and get a new one. But what really pushed me to get through that fast was because God instructed me to, and I knew it was a breakthrough. I knew that when God calls you to do a fast, he's not calling you to it to say, oh, I want to see you torment yourself. No, like, there's something God has for you, and the fast is gonna break through it. And so what the breakthroughs that happened last year was, my phone bill went from $60, six and a zero, to $15. I had AC installed in my room for my birthday. I remember praying to God. This was in August. I prayed to God, and I was like, God, just please give me a good birthday. For 3 days, my birthday was on a Friday. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I received non-stop gifts. Like, you know that song, Back to Back, no, Blessings on Blessings? Like, that's exactly what it was. Like, every time I turned around, I saw blessings. And I received a check. I received a lot of money last year. It was just so many it was so many doors. it was so much breakthrough that happened last year just because of that fast and because I was obedient to God. And I recently, as of yesterday, completed the Esther fast again. And I can't speak of testimonies yet because I know they're coming. So, but I will say that the first day of the fast, my credit score went up 10 points. And when I got the alert on my email saying, hey, like your credit score has been updated, I was like, wait a minute, like it's too early. And I didn't pay anything. So I was like, what is this? So that was the first blessing I received from the fast. But this time around, God was starting to speak to me about a food addiction. And I was like, what? And it kind of made sense to me because when God kept telling me to do the fast, I was like, no, but it's gonna be my brother's birthday on Saturday and we're gonna have cake. And I just kept delaying the fast for food. And then I was like, okay, like I have a problem here. And so I asked God, what verse do you have for me? What do you want to tell me about this fast? So he gave me 2 Timothy 1:7. And it says, for God did not give us a spirit of fear, but he hath given us love, peace, and a sound mind. And at first I was like, God, I'm not comprehending. What are you saying? So later on that day, I saw a video of a woman and she recited that same verse, but it was in a translation that I've never heard of. And she said, for God did not give us a spirit of fear, but of love, power, and self-control. And I was like, wait a minute. God gives us self-control. Like, I know there's a spirit of gluttony. I know there is lack of control, but I didn't know that God gives us self-control if we just ask for it. So how I got through this Esther fast, every day I would wake up and I would say, God, I renounce myself from the spirit of lack of control. I renounce myself from the spirit of gluttony. And I received the spirit of self-control. And I just spoke that over myself for the 3 days that I did not eat, that I did not drink. And I also said, God, the word of God is the bread of life. Jesus is eternal water. And that's all I need. And I said that for those 3 days. And I don't know what kind of fast God could be leading you to. There's so many different fasts. You can fast from social media. You can fast from your phone. You can do the Daniel fast, the Esther fast, 40-day water fast, 3-day water fast. There's so many different fasts that you can do. But always remember that God has given you the spirit of self-control, so you can do it. When you are getting weak, ask God to take that desire away from you. Say, God, this is how I'm feeling. Take this away from me. God, I need your strength in this second. And God will take it away from you. And you really have to prepare yourself mentally and physically before you do a fast. If you're doing an Esther fast, slowly start introducing yourself to those foods. So you don't just, boom, I'm just going to do it. So you have to prepare yourself how God tells you to prepare yourself. But as Christians, it is so important for us to fast because it is our way of humbling ourselves before God. Because we're saying, God, I'm so desperate to hear from you that I'm willing to not eat and not drink for 3 days to receive the breakthrough or to receive clarity on what it is that you need me to do. And it's so important if you need deliverance in your life, if there's an addiction in your life, if there's a stronghold in your life, if you are struggling with something and you're like, God, like I need you to come through for me. Sometimes God would say, I need you to fast so I can also say other things to you. And don't be afraid of the fast that God picks for you, because just know at the end of that fast, God will do something so huge in your life, it would even make sense to you. So fasting is necessary for the believer. It is necessary for us to fast because that's how we get closer to God. Some people fast so that they can hear God clearly and so that they can get revelation and clarity on what it is that God has for them to do and what it is that God has them for them to do. So ask for confirmation. You might be somebody and you're like, I don't want to do this fast. And trust me, if you feeling like that, that means you're supposed to do it. Because it ain't your flesh that's telling you to do it. It's the spirit. And your flesh is trying to fight against it because your flesh knows that there is a victory that's about to happen. And don't allow your flesh to get in the way. You just have to really, really know what it is that you're fasting for and let that also be your motivation, because it's gonna be hard. Not gonna lie, it's gonna be hard, but you have to think about what it is that you want to break in your life. For my fast, there's this song by Kierra Sheard and it's called Something Has to Break. And I use that as my theme song for this fast because I'm like, God, something has to break in my life. Something has to get through in my life. Something has to happen in my life. So that also kept me motivated. Like, God said to do this thing and I'm going to do this thing and I know something is going to happen. So when you are fasting, know that there is something that is going to happen. Something beautiful is going to be produced from the fast. So you got to get through the fast. But whatever fast that God is calling you to do, just know you have self-control. 2 Timothy 1:7, and you can receive that self-control. Just ask the Lord for it. And don't be afraid to tell people what has happened to you after the fast. But before you fast, do not say anything to anyone. It's biblical. When you are fasting, don't act like you're fasting. When you're fasting, don't really tell anyone unless they really need to know that you are fasting. And for me, I made that mistake. The first time I've told people that I was fasting, because this was a corporate fast. So of course I told people, oh yeah, I'm gonna fast too. It didn't go through. And that was the first time I opened up my mouth and said what I was doing. And people were like, hey, like, how's the fast going? And I was like, okay, like, I need to, next time I do a fast, it's between me and God. And that's the same way you have to be, because sometimes people might tempt you. Sometimes, there's pressure. They're like, oh, like, how's it going? Oh, did you do the fast? Da, da, da. So it's so important to keep a fast to yourself. Do not say anything. Just keep it between you and God, unless there's someone who really needs to know that you are fasting. Somebody that you can trust, that you know is not going to manipulate you. Tell them that you're fasting so they won't bring you foods that might tempt you or make you stumble. But fasting is beautiful. It's self-sacrificial. And it's being led by God. So if God is calling you to a fast, just know that something is getting ready to happen in your life. Something very, very good. And, things can happen. Okay? So just trust God with the fast. Trust the process. Trust that something good is going to come out of the fast, and just lean on God for guidance and instructions and for help, because it's not easy. It is not easy, okay? Okay, no food, no water for 3 days. That's hard, but it will be worth it. So, I love you guys, and I will talk to you later. Bye.